Ever since Austin Metcalf's life was unjustly ended by Carmelo Anthony's family and the activist group representing his family have been acting as if Karmelo was the one that got killed. They've been parading around, playing the victim. They've been doing press conferences, making demands. We demand that the police do this. We demand that you guys stop saying this. They've been acting as if they're just running this entire situation, right? The Metcalf family has very little say-so. Meanwhile, the murderer's family is basically controlling this whole story, painting whatever narrative they want to paint. I mean, the baby beater that is representing Carmelo's family even went so far as to blame the school for Austin's murder. He blamed the school system for not stopping the track meet because of the weather, right? He literally has been stating that, hey, we cannot hold Karmelo accountable for his actions. We can't blame Karmelo for stabbing a child in the chest, but we can blame the rain for what Karmelo did. We can't place this blame on Karmelo, but we can blame the local school system for Austin's death. It's your fault that Karmelo had to kill Austin over a bleacher seat. It's your fault. I mean, guys, I am not joking. The guy literally said, oh, it's their fault. Let's just play the clip.
But Frisco ISD has notified of their intent to expel Carmelo Anthony from school 1 month before his high school graduation. That just shows me that Frisco ISD is trying to push off the blame. And what I have not heard the media say, as many media outlets have asked us what went on, I'm trying to find how many of y'all have asked the superintendent or one single board of trustee, why didn't you cancel or postpone? With weather in that magnitude, you couldn't have a track meet in rain or thunderstorm or clouds. Y'all are the media. Ask your journalists, your weather journalists, how the weather was that day and that time. Y'all do that research. Because as a person who is the administrator of your children, you are responsible for the safety of the children. And so it seems as if Frisco ISD is trying to push this off by making this decision that they do not have to make. So the Next Generation Action Network, outside of the legal process, will be going through different avenues regarding to ensure that we fight for the rights of Carmelo Anthony.
Now you know these people are getting desperate when they resort to blaming the weather, right? Oh, it's not Carmelo's fault. It's that damn Mother Nature. Mother Nature, it's her fault. You know these people are desperate when they resort to that. And you see Carmelo's family, the baby beater spokesman, and all of Carmelo's supporters, they've been pretending like it was pouring down that day. That it was raining cats and dogs, and poor little Karmelo, he was just trying to get out of the rain. He wasn't trying to start no trouble. Well, the reality is it was not pouring down rain that day. There was a light drizzle, a light mist. You can even look at the crime scene photos. You could look at photos from the track meet after the stabbing when police are yellow taping off the area. You could look at the videos and the photos, and you can clearly tell that it was not pouring down raining in the way that these people are pretending it was. You know, was it a nice, bright, sunny day? Not necessarily. But we're also not going to sit here and pretend like it was a Category 5 hurricane and Karmelo was seeking shelter, because that's how they've been acting this entire time. So Carmelo's family, they've been doing all of this finger pointing, trying to shift the blame, while also trying to play victim. They've been releasing little pieces of evidence to prove that they're a victim, and all of the evidence is bogus. It was revealed earlier today. I don't know if you guys watched the video I put out. Please go watch it. It was revealed earlier today that Carmelo's family called the police claiming that their lives were being threatened. And when the police showed up to their neighborhood, it turns out that there were just kids running around with water guns playing in the hot summer sun in Texas, okay? Kids were just running around squirting each other with water guns, and Carmelo's family acted as if it was a group of hitmen that were there to kill Karmelo. So they called the police, and now it's literally officially documented that Carmelo's family was freaking out about little kids playing around with water guns, and they tried to pretend like this was like a group of mercenaries threatening their life. That's how outrageous and ridiculous they have gotten. And like I said, they're blaming everyone else instead of Karmelo. They're bringing up all of this other nonsense, but you would think that this group of people who they claim that Karmelo is so innocent, everything is Austin's fault. Here's evidence of harassment. Look at these mean kids with water guns. You would think that, this family being so vocal, this family defending, and this activist group defending Karmelo so hard, you would think that as they're out here doing their press conferences, making their demands, telling people what they need to do, you would think that they would demand for the video to be released. Because thanks to them, we know there's multiple videos of what went down between Austin and Karmelo. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe there was a little bit more going on than what we've been told, right? Maybe maybe Austin was a little more aggressive than we think. Maybe the argument lasted a little bit longer. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some minor details that may change, or things may look a little differently than what we imagined in our head, right? That's definitely possible. I like to be fair here, and it's definitely possible. Do I think Austin deserved to die or get stabbed? Hell no. But could he have been a little more aggressive than what we've been told? Yeah, it's possible. But let me tell you this. We're not hearing from Austin's family at all. So I don't expect them to say anything. But because we're hearing from Carmelo's family nonstop, and we're hearing from this activist group that is representing him nonstop, you would think that they would have demanded for this video to be released by now. If Karmelo is so innocent and Austin is such a monster, right? Surely you would want the video to be released. I mean, hey, there's this evidence sitting right there that can prove that Karmelo isn't really the bad guy here, that Carmelo's life was threatened and he had to do what he had to do. Hell, there's a video. Why aren't y'all demanding for that to be released? They're demanding everything else, constantly in front of the cameras, wanting attention, constantly playing the victim, constantly acting like everything is everyone else's fault instead of Karmelo's. Well, shouldn't y'all be demanding for the video to be released? So you can clear Karmelo's name, so you can show the world that this wasn't Karmelo's fault. He's just a sweet little baby. He didn't do nothing. He's a future rocket scientist, a future astronaut. I mean, the video evidence exists. And sure, yeah, I know that they're not going to release the evidence because you got to wait until court. I get all of that, but why isn't Carmelo's family demanding for this video to be released? Maybe because it doesn't necessarily make Karmelo look good. And knowing how the media operates, The mainstream media, at least most of the mainstream media, they want so desperately to sympathize with Karmelo. They want so desperately to have an angle where they can paint him out to be a victim. And if this video really showed that Austin was just acting crazy and irate, and Karmelo was like this scared little kid that had to do what he had to do, if this video showed that, I feel like we would have seen the video by now. Just like when anything crazy happens in this country, if it's a white person doing it, you will know automatically because they will name the suspect. They'll tell you, oh, he's a Trump supporter. They'll tell you, oh, look, he went to this Christian church. They will tell you everything about a suspect if he is white. You'll find out within the first 5 minutes of a crazy crime going down. But if the suspect isn't white, you might have to wait days before you find out what the suspect looks like, what the suspect's name is. So we know how the media operates. When the media feels like they can paint an anti-white narrative, they will throw all of the information out there. They're not waiting for no investigation to be completed. You think they give a damn about the cops in an investigation? No. They're going to put all of the information out there. But if it's a black person, oh, we got to be careful. We can't interfere in this investigation. We can't release pictures of this. We can't show you videos of this. We can't talk about this. That's how the media has been operating for years now. So we don't know what this video shows. And like I said earlier on in this video could show that Austin was more aggressive than what we think. But what we do know is we know how the media operates. And I fully believe that if this video really made Austin look bad, they would have released it very early on. The fact that they haven't is very telling. And the fact that this family knows this evidence exists, evidence that should prove that Karmelo's not the big, bad, guilty monster murderer that everyone's making him out to be. The family knows this evidence exists. But you don't hear them talking about, oh, release the video. Prove my son acted in self-defense. You don't see them saying that. What do you see them saying? Oh, feel bad for us. Someone delivered a pizza to our house. Oh my God, we're scared for our life. All while ignoring that there's a video, multiple videos, that exist right now that in a just world, it would put a lot of these debates and arguments to rest, but it doesn't matter what's shown in the video. People have already, formed their sides. They've already joined their teams. But all I'm saying, if I'm innocent and there's a video that exists that proves I'm innocent, or if there's a video that exists that proves that I acted in self-defense, hell yeah, release that video. During the press conference, demand for the video to be released. Instead of crying and lying about how you're spending all of the money that you raised off the murder of a white child, why don't you demand for the video to be released? But they're not. They're going to tiptoe around that, just like they're tiptoeing around February 4th and the previous assault that Karmelo was involved in. They're tiptoeing around a lot of things here. And because of that, it really makes me think that this video is not actually going to be good for Karmelo. Because if this video was good for Karmelo, if it helped him in any way, if it worked out to benefit him, then I do think there is a bigger chance that we would have seen the video by now. But because we haven't, I think that says a whole lot. Or at the very least, because we haven't seen any demand for the video to be released from Carmelos Family, I think that says a whole lot. It really and truly does. Now, the question is, will we ever see the video? Is this something they will show in court? Will it ever be released? For all we know, the powers that be, because like I keep telling y'all, there's forces at play here that are trying to use this story to divide us. For all we know, they could be holding on to this video, just waiting for the perfect opportunity to drop it, knowing that there's going to be more chaos, confusion, arguing, division, hate being spread whenever the video drops. Right? So who knows? They might wait until the middle of June, July, and just drop the video right there, hoping that race riots pop out or something happens. I'm really I'm keeping my eye on this situation very closely because I understand that this story has the potential to spill out into something totally different, right? And I also understand and I remember what just went down a few years ago during the BLM riots in 2020. You know, you guys might remember that some of that might have been sparked by George Floyd, but over the months and weeks, there were other little stories that kind of just kept the rage and hate and the protests going, right? And what I think is happening here is maybe the Austin Metcalf Karmelo story is the story that really kicks off the racial division for the summer, but there may be other stories that follow up that are kind of like it that also cause a lot of racial division until we see another, I don't necessarily want to call it another summer of love, but another summer of race riots in America. So yeah, I'm definitely keeping my eye very close on this story because I understand how this story can be manipulated and used against everyone, against all of us, regardless of whose side you're on. Because at the end of the day, you want to know what I want to do? I want to live a nice, peaceful life. I want to go out, be happy, and have fun, and just live. And I think we all should want to do that, regardless of the color of our skin, regardless if you support Austin or Karmelo. That's what we should be spending our time doing. But the powers that be don't want us to live peacefully and happily. They want us to be at each other's necks and at each other's throats. Therefore, you better believe they're behind the scenes right now crafting up their little plans about how they're going to use this story, how they'll release certain information in order to get the reaction that they want. And you better believe that whenever this video comes out, there will definitely, most definitely be a reaction. But as of right now, it definitely feels like Carmelos Family and his activist group, they're screaming loud, they're running their mouths 24/7, but none of them want to talk about the video. They dodge talking about the video that exists. And you would think that that would be like the main topic of discussion. That would be at the center of this discussion, but it's kind of forgotten about. Never mind the fact that we have a video that shows how everything went down. We'll just forget about that and we'll argue from our side and you argue from your side. We'll pretend that, you know, kids with water guns are out to kill us and all this other nonsense that's going on. It's honestly hard to keep up with the nonsense, but I've been trying my hardest to do so. And if you appreciate the work, you know how to support. You could always support the channel via Cash App or Super Thanks, or you can support the channel for free by liking the video, sharing the video on social media, dropping a comment, and becoming part of the conversation below. But with all of that being said, I'll talk to you all very soon in the next video.